So when we start to paint our op art, we are going to paint 6 sections each day, and we're going to start with our lightest values first. So when we begin, we want to erase our pencil lines so they are nice and light and so they don't show through our paint. It helps the optical illusion if our values aren't outlined. It also helps to work on scrap paper since we're going to paint to the edge, and I like to put a little bit of tape on the back so that way my painting isn't moving while I'm painting it and I don't have to hold it with my fingers. I'm going to get my paint and use a couple of scoops, 2 to 3 small scoops of paint in each paint palette to mix. Put the lid on your jar so you don't accidentally dip a dirty brush in it. Once you have your white in your paint palette, you want to add small amounts of your hue or your color to it to mix your tints. And I can take my brush and hold it over my value scale to double check that I have mixed it correctly. Once I have my tints mixed, then I am ready to start painting. We are working with tints number 1 and 2 today, which are white and your lightest value. When I begin to paint, I like to start with the lighter value, which in this case is the white. As we start painting, we want to use the tip of the brush to outline along the edge of the shape. Remember, we are pulling the brush, we are not pushing the brush. When we push the brush, it separates the bristles, making a messier edge. If we do have a rough edge or go over into the other shape, it is helpful that we are starting with the lighter color because we can hide it with our darker values when we come back over it. We are first going to paint the white corner, and then we are going to switch to our number 2 value and paint the opposite corner. Then we dry our brush and get rid of any extra paint on it, and we use our dry brush to blend the two together. Now remember from our practice, when you go to blend, you have to make sure that both colors are wet, that they haven't dried. Sometimes you have to do an extra layer right along the edge of the one to help build it up so that you can mix right in between the two. So you do have to mix the two values together as you go. Remember, you can wipe off your brush on your paper towel, so it helps to create what I call a dry brush to help with mixing. Make sure you are painting slowly, taking your time. Notice we are not painting triangles next to each other. We want to make sure that there is space between our triangles. That's why I'm asking you to paint these specific triangles to ensure that our colors don't all blend together. When you are done painting today, your project should look similar to this, but possibly with a different color. Notice that we are just using white and our lightest tint. On the left-hand side of our design, you'll notice that the number 2 value is together in the middle and the white is on the outside edges. And then in the center of our star, it's reversed. We have white in the center and our number 2 value on the outside edge. And then the two big diagonal triangles are the exact same triangle. So white in the top right corner, number 2 value in the left corner. So I'm going to try and save my paint. I happen to have a Ziploc, so I'm just going to put my paint palette in this and save this for tomorrow when I paint again. If you don't have a Ziploc, you would just wash it out and start fresh and try and remix the colors tomorrow. So again, as you begin today, here is what we are trying to paint for our day 1 of our op art painting.